In 3, 2, 1. It's still okay. Still going. Sorry about this. Okay. So let's see where it looks like we are live now on Facebook. Yes, we're here. We are live now on Facebook. Exciting, exciting. Hi, everyone. I am Denise Stegall. I am the curator and CEO of livinghealthylist.com. You guys know that. For those of you who don't, that's who I am. And I am here every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time to basically answer the questions that you've been asking, or those questions that you've had in your mind, but you've just never asked, those embarrassing questions or those things that you think I should already know. That's what we're here for every Wednesday, is to help answer those questions that you have been wondering about, hence the name, the Wonder Series. And today I'm really excited to share with you a really amazing product and an opportunity that all of us really need to know about. And I'm thrilled to have Dr. Troy Sanford with Vollara. He's the Senior Vice President of Sales and Health Sciences there with Vollara. Vollara is a company that I have been aware of and have been part of for the last handful of years, probably 4 or 5 years now. And it's time for me to share all of the amazing things that Vollara does and can do for you. So Dr. Troy, thank you for being with me today.
Denise, I'm delighted to be with you. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I've heard so many great things about you that I'm really in awe of having you here. So thank you. If you would, tell us a little bit about who you are, your background, and what you do over at Vollara.
Sure. I'm a naturopath. I've got a master's degree in natural health and a doctoral degree in naturopathy. And I work for a wellness company. Our wellness company makes nature accessible to everybody, is basically where we're coming from, Denise, with air, with water, with nutrition. We kind of use Mother Nature as a guide. And the demand for our product has increased so exponentially right now. We're at a super busy time in the industry, killing pathogens and protecting people and families everywhere, hiring second and third shifts and opening up more distribution facilities. So it's a busy time for us. But as a naturopath, I love really our core philosophy, which is empowering nature to protect you and to live a healthier, better life.
So how exactly are we doing that? How is Vollara doing that with, this is a crazy time with COVID and so many people working from home and, bigger families have the kids at home and parents at home. We're all kind of in that place where we're trying to be as safe as possible and to really have the cleanest safest environment as possible. Where does Vollara come in? How can Vollara help us do that?
Well, we have a machine that purifies air and surfaces, Denise. It's called Active Pure, is kind of the secret sauce of it. It's an Active Pure cell that really brings in what's outside in nature inside to deactivate pathogens in the air, in occupied spaces. We've had this technology and this idea for over a decade, and we've been purifying it and just getting it down so that we can reduce surface and airborne pathogens to 3 to 6 log in 30 to 60 minutes. We just had the SARS-CoV-2, the actual pathogen, tested, and we deactivated it at the University of Texas Medical Building in 3 minutes, airborne. So we deactivate pathogens in the air and on surfaces for a living. And for the last decade, a lot of people didn't appreciate that. Some folks did. We work with Olympic athletes and Major League Baseball, and a lot of people that take their body and health very seriously because they can't afford to get sick. They want to protect themselves. So we've been doing this for a long time, but now the world really appreciates getting rid of pathogens in the air, deactivating them very quickly. So our business has been very busy, and we love it because we can give people a level of protection, Denise, that is unachievable anywhere else.
So when we talk about these airborne pathogens, obviously right now we're focused on the COVID SARS-19, but also you mentioned, there's more to it than that. And so, yes, we wanted to get rid of all of these pathogens. That's really important. And so let's talk about that a little bit more. But I also want to talk about before all of this, or after all of this, where we kind of go from after COVID. We're working on this now, and we get rid of the pathogens, and maybe explain that a little bit more for us.
Well, I think the way that we do it, Denise, is really important, and how that empowers kids to come back to school. We've got millions of dollars in our product in schools, in Defense Department places, and it gives people a level of protection that's unprecedented because it works between people. Most systems that are trying to purify the air are trying to bring in fresh air, and keep air like moving, going through, or putting it through a filter. And those aren't, they're failed systems when you have a pathogen in the air. They don't work in the space between people. And what Active Pure does is it works in that space between people, using these photo-generated submicroscopic gas phase oxidants that are super normal. We're talking about hydrogen peroxide, gas vapor, hydrogen peroxide, hydroxyls, which occur outside, this window in 5 million hydroxyls in 1 cubic centimeter. That's a normal reading outside. A lot of tiny, tiny little hydroxyls that clean. In superoxides and hydroxyl radicals as well. So we use 4 natural gas phase oxidants that occur outside, right? So we just bring that outside in, and it gives tremendous protection. And we have this validated through a number of different areas. This is our medical device. It's an FDA cleared class 2 medical device that was currently being used at the Cleveland Clinic in a clinical trial with 60 to 80,000 patients of surgeries that last more than an hour. Wow. So we have these units in there, and they give a level of protection in an OR that is unprecedented. This unit gives my family here in South Florida, with 4 boys and an active lifestyle, it gives us a level of protection because it's cleaning the air actively and persistently all the time. And what that means for America, what that means for schools, what that means for moms, means that they can take control of the air, and then not try to switch it out and do these old things, but use the new way, this gas phase oxidant-based system that occurs outside naturally with Vollara. And that's what we're doing, Denise, and it's a very exciting time.
It's really exciting. I love the way you explain that, Troy, because, we all are looking for, that healthy piece, at Living Healthy List, we want the best healthy lifestyle. And the fact that it's naturally occurring is truly something I think most of us need to know. The way that as you were talking, the way I was thinking about how the Active Pure works, as opposed to just an air purifier, it's kind of like an air purifier is like dusting. And with Vollara, the Vollara Air Pure system, Active Pure system, it's like actually really like cleaning the air. It's not just kind of like pulling the dust out. It's just cleaning the air to a level where I don't think most of us have really ever experienced.
Well, it comes from space. It comes from the International Space Station, and you can't just have an air filter, right? You've got to you actively clean the air. And that's where this was actually birthed many years ago. And it was on the STS-76, Space Shuttle Columbia mission, when they grew potatoes, to kind of just like the Martian, you scrub that ethylene gas out. And that's what they did. And all of a sudden they realized that everything else is scrubbed clean. And then, so it kind of, it progressed from there, and we've taken it over the last decade and poured millions of dollars into research and development. And now Active Pure is in 70 products. We are a growing and just incredible, awesome way to protect people, because you have a better idea, Denise. It's not like we created some super molecule. And I really appreciate where you're coming from, saying this is the healthy list, the living healthy list. And we do things in nature matters, and we respect nature. We didn't create some weird, something that doesn't already exist. So it's been through so much validation. I mean, June of 2020, we got the FDA class 2 clearance. That's I think 4 active pure cells in there, and we have them in different areas in different ways to protect people. Little things you wear around your neck.
Mhm.
I just came back from South Lake Tahoe on an awesome ski trip. I can tell you, I don't want to breathe other people's air on the plane, right?
Yep.
Your air is your air, so you keep something. This is just like ions from nature. There's pulse, positive and negative ions that are created by trees and wind and energy. So we just put that underneath your neck, and things come to you, then they drop. So you have a natural way of protecting yourself. And we do come from nature. We honor nature in the water, the way we do water of the earth, the way we do our natural products. We literally just try to bring the best of nature and make it convenient. At the touch of a button, you can have nature in your living room, in your house.
I think that's really what enticed me initially when I was introduced to Vollara products. I was actually at the American College for Lifestyle Medicine conference. This was probably 4 years ago. Might have been 5 years ago. I don't know. These years kind of keep skipping by really quickly. And what I really appreciated was the fact that it was natural. It wasn't bringing some chemical or something else into our home, because we have so many things in our home already. You come home from work, you've been in an environment with lots of other people, and you're bringing all of that in the house with you.
Yeah.
So I love the fact that with nature, using nature, that we can clean our environment. And I'm glad that you mentioned the personal product, because for those of us who are, who do go to work, okay, those of us, not me, I work from home, but for people who are going into an office or going into a facility, those people who are traveling, there's not a lot of people traveling, but people are traveling. And this is a way to really ensure your safety. I mean, we're all wearing masks, we know that, and that definitely helps. But it's time to get to that next level, because if we can get to that next level of purification and safety, maybe we can get through this soon. I don't know what soon means.
We will get through this, and I believe in relatively short order, but the next one's coming. We're smarter, we're better prepared. You're better prepared on an airplane wearing the not wearing that. So it's not a measure of this is the answer. It's a measure of let's get better prepared and use smarter technology. That's what we've got a better way to do this. And it's recognized so much in the marketplace and in some of the highest levels of institutional validation, Denise. So it's super neat to work on a natural idea in that area. And honestly, it's just the best idea. It's the best that there is, and nature brings it to us. And if you're humble enough to respect nature and take cues from nature, you can do a lot of neat things. And that's kind of what we're doing.
I love that. I love that. I want to ask 2 questions, because these are things that pop up on my Facebook, on my whenever I'm searching on Google, HEPA filters and ozone filters, and there's a ton of them right now. There's a ton of advertisements, this. But what explain to us a little bit, like what is a HEPA filter versus an ozone or non-ozone product, because it gets really confusing. When you look on Google, everybody's product is the number 1 product. It is the best because everyone has a testimonial. But it's confusing, I think, to many of us, because we say, oh, this is the one that was said on this website was the number 1 product, and it's a HEPA filter. Oh no, but this one is an ozone product, and that has 100, an A rating. What are those things? What do they mean?
I can help you with that, Denise. And I'm just a simple person, so I kind of bifurcate things. You have an active system and you have a passive system. A HEPA and those air filters that things are supposed to come through, that's a passive system, right? It's just sitting there doing nothing. It's filtering, it's blocking, and so it's filtering the air. That's passive. And you have active, like ozone and active pure, that go out and do things. So I would kind of bifurcate it there to start with. And the HEPA and the passive thing doesn't have an active presence in the room. You're going to take particle count down, right? The total amount of particles in the air, you're going to reduce those, but it's not going to give you an active protection. It's not. So ours is different because it's active. And the ozone thing is really interesting. And we probably don't have enough time to cover it, but the machines that we market, create and market, are ozone free. This machine behind me, it's CARB certified. You wanted to go to a third party, government based, hopefully, place that validates ozone free, and CARB, C-A-R-B, California Air Resource Board.
Okay.
California does the best job of regulating ozone, them and Canada. So our machines, this machine as it runs, cannot and does not produce ozone at all, because low level ozone is a danger. You can do this wrong and you can hurt people, have deleterious effects on people is how I would probably characterize it. So we don't do low level ozone. Now we do offer a machine that you can produce ozone with in unoccupied spaces. You can't buy that in California or Canada, but it's a tool. Ozone is a great tool for unoccupied spaces. We really don't focus on ozone, and we do about 80% of our business in ozone-free, certified, validated. You can go to the websites, and we encourage you to do that because it's a safety factor. So we focus on safety and efficacy, and we participate in all the government and all the institutions that oversee that, Denise. It's real important that we play by the rules. And we
Absolutely.
And the California Air Resource Board, if you look up Vollara, it'll have this machine listed. So it's a good way to validate that you have ozone-free running machines.
I think that's really important because I really honestly didn't know that. I mean, I had an inkling that it could be dangerous, but there's so many products out there that have ozone. So that was really interesting. So thank you for that piece of information. I really, really, really appreciate that. The interesting,
if I may just finish, it's a danger of electronic air cleaning. This is electronic based air cleaning. So it's kind of one of the pitfalls of that. You might consider it. So when you're getting something that's an electronic based air purifier, you want to make sure that it's not producing unintended ozone. And if it's not CARB certified, I wouldn't buy it. I mean, I don't, it's not worth risking, now they have these for $400 that do this. Is it certified? Is it real? Has it been validated? Is this just something that somebody created? So we are the kind of the Coca-Cola of the soft drink industry. That's who we are. And we stand for safe machines and validation of that. So I don't mean to interrupt you, Denise, but most people don't know the pitfall or the danger of electronic air purification could be unintended low-level ozone. We don't participate in that, and we're very careful about that. Even though ozone is natural, it's natural. Well, so is arsenic, right?
True. we don't want that either.
We don't do that either. So safety is a priority, especially as products start coming out during this time of challenge with the pandemic. Be very careful, and the caution is to get third-party validation from a government institution that says there's no ozone being produced by this machine as it runs, and there's laboratory evidence for that.
That's really important. Truly. And I think that's one of the key points for people to take home. The interesting thing when you said initially about the active and the passive, how some of the filters work, and as you were talking about that, we had a filter for years before I had my Vollara product, that it was huge, this huge HEPA filter. And I remember I hated cleaning it because I live in the country. So there's a lot of dust. There's a lot of tree pollen and gunk. And every week, the whole front side of the filter was just full of white garbage. And yeah, it was great that was pulling that out of the air. But like you said, one, that was kind of gross having to clean it all the time. And that's the thing that I love about my my Active Pure system is I don't actually have to clean it.
Well, the filter is there on the back of ours to protect the inside of the machine because it's a failed system trying to really capture all that. What we do is we mechanically deactivate it. You could call it lysis. It's like popping a balloon. These pathogens are very, very small, and it's not like you have to gather them up and put them into a filter or an area. That's kind of what HEPA's doing. They're trying to gather them all up and put them. No, just drive by, blow them up. You can do it really easy, and humans have adapted skin and mucosa lining. I mean, we're pretty well adapted to going outside, right? It doesn't hurt your skin. I mean, so we take it just fine. Hydroxyls are not a problem for humans in advanced species. So this is a better way, Denise, to do it instead of trying to gather them all up. That's the old way. This is a much faster, I mean, because it's gas phase, it happens at 500 miles an hour and there's no cleanup, right? It turns into water and a little bit of carbon dioxide sometimes, maybe some oxygen. That's what's left over from our drive-by. It's a better way to do it than some old, let's get them all and put them in this area.
Mm-hmm. I love that. I love that. Thank you so much that you really clarified that. And for me and hopefully for everybody else, because, and truly, I mean, I've had this system for a long time and you taught me things that I didn't actually know. So I really appreciate that. For those of you who are watching, please take a look on our website. We have information about Vollara and Active Pure technology. Dr. Troy, anything else you'd like to share with us before we close?
Well, reducing indoor pathogens right now is super hot, and we're doing a really good job at it. I encourage folks to take an active role to protect your family first. I mean, and I'm not saying, you need to get these products, but look for the best. I would encourage you to take steps in protecting yourself and upping your game. I mean, yes, we're all wearing masks. We're following CDC guidelines. We appreciate
always washing hands.
We appreciate the leaders of our country that are encouraging people in this awareness of this. A lot of us have been doing this for a long time, not necessarily wearing masks, but protecting ourselves. So we just, Denise, I would say in closing to, take steps to protect yourself. And there's great ways that are available for you to do that. We think our product is really, really special, and the world does apparently as well. So we're in a really good position, and it's our heart to serve people. That's what we're doing right now with people pushing. I mean, our company is white hot serving people, creating this technology. So we're doing it and growing tremendously, and we appreciate all of the wonderful customers. But I would tell folks to protect your family first.
I love the fact that you said that, take an active role in this. And, here, that's what I'm trying to do at Living Healthy List. Our goal is to give people honest, reliable, and unbiased information. And what I love about the information that you've talked about here is you have the scientific information to prove it, and it's listed on the website, and so it's very transparent. And that is, I think, one of the most important things when it comes to being unbiased is, you have the information out there, you put it out there for people to see, you go and see and get the approval of these third party approvals and companies. And I think that truly, to me, that is the most honest and reliable information that we can provide people. So thank you so much, Troy. I really appreciate your time here today.
I really enjoyed it. Thanks so much, Denise.
So for those of you who are here, I'm Denise Stegall, again with Living Healthy List, here every Wednesday for Wonder Series Wednesday. If you have questions, please put them in the chat. I'll definitely be checking through that as we close. I'll make sure that you have the link available also. And well, until next week, everyone, healthy living, happy